It's day 13. I'm not sure what day it is. Wednesday, June 7th. And it's the first day that it's raining. So I have my pack all wrapped up in it's a rain cover. I'm wearing my rain jacket. I was looking at the next stop, and it's again not very far. I don't know what I was thinking when I booked these places, but this is the place that had like the cancellation fee that was more than the room, and so I'm not gonna cancel it. But it's literally just on the other side of the bay from where I'm at. It's like 6 kilometers. Sometimes I get like sad when I like put the location that I'm staying in like Google, and I realize, you know, like it tells you like it's an 11-minute drive, or like some of the days when I've been walking like 10 miles, they're like, you know, it's been like a 15-minute Uber that costs like €3. And I'm like, that took me 4 hours to walk that. But whatever, it is what it is. So anyway, shouldn't be a very long day today. Just raining, but I like the rain. The rain is a welcome relief today. So it'll be nice to walk through the rain. But I do have my pack all covered in the rain gear, and I do have a poncho as well. If it like starts to like downpour, I can put the poncho on me and my pack and have added protection. But I'm just gonna get going. So I got my foul weather gear all on, and my raincoat and my bag all wrapped up, and it was raining when I left, and I walked like 6 blocks, and raining is a stretch. It was a light drizzle. I got a couple of spots on my glasses. But yeah, I walked 6 blocks to the nearest coffee shop, stopped and had my coffee and croissant, like I do. And now the sun is out, and it's way too humid to continue to try to wear my raincoat because it like sticks to you. So that was a fun thing. I guess I'm done with my foul weather stuff, so that's okay. It was a nice relief for a second, but it's also nice to have the sun out and not to have to worry about it. But I am going to leave the rain thing on my bag, just because it's a pain to take off, and just in case it does start to rain again. But I think I'm looking around, I think it's probably done for the day. I'm here on the boardwalk. This bay is actually more of like a marsh. Probably during like high water times it is more of a bay, but right now it's just a marsh. Just gross mossy marsh. But yeah, anyway, I'm just gonna keep going and get to my next spot. It's not very far, probably maybe an hour's walk from where I am, so I'm just hanging out, chilling. I'm almost trying, like I can't check in until like 2 in the afternoon, and it's only like 10, so I am taking all the liberties to stop and rest anytime I'm like, Buen Camino, anytime that I want to. Anyway, that's all. I will just keep going. Also, I wanted to point out that it is day 14, not day 13. I was going through my notes and realized that I had said the wrong day earlier today, but it is day 14. I have listed in the description all of the remaining days and sort of where I'll be. So if you're curious as to my next route, or like my next pass, I've listed it all in the description. So anyway, Buen Camino. I really appreciate creative people. This is a beautiful sculpture of a seahorse made out of this log, and I just think it's so cool. Here's the bay. Here's an octopus. It's 1 and I am here at my next accommodations. I don't actually know what qualifies something to be considered an albergue or just a regular hostel. I don't know, but I'm in like a room that has 6 other beds, but it's like a private room, kind of. Like the room has a key to get into here, but there are 6 other, you know, like 6 beds. So, but it's quite nice actually, and it's right near the beach, and so I'm gonna just get cleaned up a bit and head down there and hang out at the beach. It's only 1 in the afternoon. I've only gone 13,000 steps, so a much lighter day than normal. And I think tomorrow is also a light day, if I remember correctly. So, which is fine. Tomorrow I'm going to Vigo, I believe. Because I think after Vigo, there is at least one day that I am doing the full stage, and I was thinking it was after Vigo, because I couldn't find affordable accommodations off stage. So I think it's like 13 miles, but I can't remember. So yeah, I'm gonna go clean up and just have some lunch and putt around, hang out at the beach. So I'll check in later for my daily stand-up. I just got done with lunch, where I had some more gelato, which is not something I have really done on this trip. It was just yesterday and today. But I'm sitting here on the beach having my 3rd cup of coffee for the day, and something that I've been doing on this trip that I didn't do back at home is that I've been adding sugar to my coffee. I didn't usually do that, because I just didn't want the excess calories, and the sugar is terrible for you. But I've been adding it on this trip, and it got me thinking about the movie Eat, Pray, Love, and how I really have correlated my journey this summer with that movie. Actually, the book that I knew first before the movie. And in fact, the name of my YouTube channel was originally Walk Chant Sail, and it is in fact still the handle. Do they call it handles anymore? Whatever. It's the handle of my YouTube channel, Walk Chant Sail, and I do very much associate my journey with that book. And the first part of her book was she went to Italy and they ate tons of pasta and she gained a bunch of weight, and it got me thinking about all the food that I've been eating and the croissants every morning for breakfast, and then it got me thinking about the movie The Way. And in The Way, there is a man there that has set out on the pilgrimage with the intention of losing weight. And, at the end of the movie, they all walk away being, essentially completely the same people. And, the woman that set out to quit smoking still smokes, and the guy that set out to lose weight didn't lose any weight. And it got me thinking about, there are a ton of people that ask that, of people that post their journeys of the Camino on YouTube or forums or whatever, Facebook. A lot of people ask about, the potential for weight loss, and of course the potential is there. The potential is there in our everyday lives to lose weight, but what you don't see is posts that are like, I lost 50 pounds on the Camino. Like, you you just don't you just don't see that. And I'm sure it's because, you know, because we're eating, you know, such rich foods and having sugar in our coffee every morning and croissants, and I mean meals that consist of rice and french fries and, you know, bread every meal. And, you know, a lot of the pilgrims menus not only come with, you know, have appetizer, the entree and dessert, and bread and a glass of wine, sometimes a pitcher of wine. You know, I'm hardly starving myself. And then, you know, as I sit and think about the next phase of my journey in Rishikesh, and how different my lifestyle is going to be once I get there. You know, the yoga is far more than just physical exercises and physical poses and stuff. And once you really kind of dig deep into the yogic philosophies, it actually is very similar to Buddhism, and has a lot of like mental and spiritual correlations with yoga, and is far more than just physical exercises. But in Rishikesh is considered to be one of the holy cities in India. It's right along the Himalaya, the base of the Himalayas, and right on the Ganges River, which is a holy river. And is actually where the Beatles went when they went to India. It was to an ashram in Rishikesh, where they had their like spiritual awakening. And part of being a holy city is that it is a dry city, and what that means is not only do they not have alcohol, they also don't allow meat, and so the entire city is vegetarian. And so when I go to Rishikesh, my whole diet and everything will change as a result of going there. And Kundalini yoga, which is sort of my emphasis, is one of the more orthodox yogic styles. There are many different types of yoga: Yin yoga, Nadra yoga, Nidra yoga, Bikram yoga, Ashtanga yoga, Hatha yoga. I mean, there are a ton of different types of yoga, but Kundalini yoga is one of the more orthodox. And if most people that teach it will only wear completely white while they teach it. They all wear headdresses, turbans, something to cover their head. Even if it's just a simple headband, they always have something that's on their head, always white. But part of the yogic philosophies, just like Buddhism, is that they don't harm other creatures, and so they are strictly vegetarian. And it really kind of got me thinking about like the orthodox nature and how completely different my life is going to be once I get to India and even Indonesia. Probably even more so in Indonesia, because it'll be even more strictly Kundalini yoga. And Kundalini yoga, well, yes, it is all about the internal organs, as I mentioned in one of my other videos. It really is a lot about healing and healing emotional traumas and healing emotional wounds through the act of like cleansing your organs. Our bodies hold on to things in different ways. We hold on to trauma in different ways, and so helping clean out those organs will also help relieve some of those traumas. So yeah, it just kind of got me thinking that about how completely like 180 my life is going to be once I get to India, from this diet of croissants and coffee and gelato and rice and french fries to a pretty strict vegetarian. My camera died earlier while I was on my soapbox about yoga and Rishikesh, and I don't know exactly where I left off because that was hours ago. But it's now like 10:30 at night. I am at like 19,000 steps. The place I'm staying at tonight, it was 25 euros. I had lighting makes a big difference. I had lunch, and I normally only eat like one main meal a day, but I did have lunch and dinner tonight. And lunch was I think 18 euros, as well as dinner. Dinner was 18 euros, so it was a little bit more of an expensive day just because I had 2 meals, which I normally don't do, like 2 main meals. And then I did have to go buy some, like an antihistamine. I seem to have developed at least what Google, I mean, who knows for real, what Google is calling like an exercise allergy, and like my calves have started to like break out in hives. So that's awesome, but I think it'll be okay. I think just the heat and the humidity. It's not the first time I've developed like sores as a result of the heat. So I think it's just that. Normally I get that on my ankles, but now it's like higher up on my calves, but whatever, it'll be fine. One thing I was going to comment, wow, lighting really does make a big difference. Comment about with like the Eat, Pray, Love, and you know, all the differences of lifestyles from my Camino to when I get to Rishikesh, and just the stark difference in how like you don't see posts about people that lose weight on the Camino. You just don't. Is the, you know, like even so I'm now like 2 weeks into my Camino, and I think weight loss is oftentimes like medication, and sometimes it takes like at least 3 weeks to really like be effective. I know they say that like forming a habit takes at least 3 weeks, but I think really it's like it takes at least 3 weeks for it to like have an effect on your life, for you to start seeing the benefits of that new habit. And it's not necessarily that after 3 weeks you now have the new habit formed, because you can even after 3 weeks, even after a month, even after a year, you can lose that habit so quickly. And so I really do think that like it takes time for something to be effective. And I'm only 2 weeks in, and no, I have not weighed myself. I don't have any means to do so, but I can tell you that like I don't think my clothes are fitting any differently. They're not like looser or anything. Like I don't feel like I've lost weight, and it's probably because of how I've been eating. And so I do expect some kind of dramatic, well, maybe not dramatic, but I do expect a change once I get to India, just like in the movie Eat, Pray, Love. I think she went through periods. I'm not exactly sure what she was doing in India. I think it's been a while since I've read the book and watched the movie. It seems to me she was just there working with a guru, and wasn't necessarily doing a yoga training like I'm going to be doing. And so I think she went through like periods of like starvation, and I will not be doing that. But I will be eating like totally vegetarian. So anyway, I just kind of wanted to sort of finish some of my thoughts, and I'm sure I'll have more as I go. I think I was talking about like the Kundalini yoga has like this spiritual. It's actually more of a spiritual component, and more of it like an emotional healing, and how our body holds on to trauma. And so by healing our body, we're healing these traumas. And I'm sure I will get into that more as I go through this journey. You know, part of what has kind of, I mean, I've been planning this for couple years now, actually. But one thing that really kind of led me into like Kundalini specific was specifically the chanting aspect of it. And a little while ago, I joined the Buddhist temple in Vermont, and that was what I was looking for, was that chanting aspect, and like the and not just, because with Kundalini yoga, you like have a tune in and a tune out, and sometimes you do incorporate chanting, but it's more of like internal chanting, not like an actual like vocalized chanting. Sometimes it is, but yeah, what I was looking for was the like vocalized chanting, and so I joined the Buddhist temple there in Vermont, and I loved my experiences, but it really was the chanting aspect of it that I was going for, and the actual vocalization of those chants, and I have quite spiritual beliefs about choral singing and like singing long tones specifically. Not only does it help with your breath control, but I think it helps like rebalance your emotions. Anyway, so that's part of why I'm going into like the sound healing aspect of it as well, and trying to take some of these sound healing courses is because I think that, that they've done a whole bunch of studies about the benefits of acoustics on our health and on our well-being, and there's a lot of great resources on it. So those are just some of the thoughts. I know it's kind of disjointed because I didn't get to finish my thoughts from earlier today because my battery died and I have no idea what I was talking about. I probably wasn't talking about anything like real important anyway. So I just thought I would kind of finish some of those thoughts, and I'm sure I'll have more as I go. Yeah, that's my daily stats, and I'm gonna I just got back from dinner, and it's like 10:30 because they eat dinner so late here. Nothing, like, people are now just coming to dinner. Like, it's pretty different from what I'm used to, but taking a nap, I can totally understand where that comes. So if like siestas are part of your culture, I can definitely understand why you would have late dinners. So anyway, that's all my thoughts today. I will check back in tomorrow. I do have a longer day. I have to get to Vigo. I think it's like 9 miles from where I'm at, but anyway, that's all for me today. I will check back tomorrow. Bien Camino.